Alrighty, let's talk about how to manage a long distance relationship, something that I've got some experience with, and I can't believe I've left it this long to talk about because it's such a tricky thing to do, and I want to help some people through the same barriers that myself and my fiance had to go through. So I've got my top 10 tips. I'll try and whip through them as quickly as possible. Tip number 1, before it even begins, accept that it will not be easy. It was surprising how hard it was. Okay, not just in terms of emotionally and keeping the connection and the relationship going, but logistically, planning and organizing, that was quite difficult. You have to really want to be with someone to make a long distance relationship work in a healthy way. Step number 2, get used to planned contact. When you're in a normal relationship, as in proximal and physical contact with each other, you can just spontaneously have conversations and then spend time apart, and you can go back and forth like this. In a long distance relationship, you're going to have to plan and structure your conversations and your connections with each other. It can be a bit awkward. It can be a logistical pain in the ass. My girlfriend and I, we were opposite sides of the world, so the time zone was a nightmare to manage. But you're just going to have to do it, and make sure you do it with, if possible, with video calling. Video calling is better than any other form of contact. You want to set the camera up as well so it looks like you're making eye contact with each other. Okay? Because the lack of eye contact, I think, is even more damaging than lack of touch in a long distance relationship. You need to be able to see each other eye to eye if you can. It needs to look like you're looking into each other's eyes. Or otherwise that video effect starts to create a disconnection when the person you're talking to is always talking to you like this. It's bizarre. Okay. Tip number 3. Your emotional connection is going to suffer. The distance does make a difference, but it doesn't have to be detrimental. So you're going to have to try extra hard to be honest, to be forthcoming with information, to be compassionate and vulnerable and patient. You're going to have to put more effort in than you usually would in person, particularly because all your contacts will be planned and to some extent feel a bit forced sometimes. Silences must be made okay. You shouldn't have to talk just because it's your allotted time to talk. Make it that you're just going to be together. If one of you feels like staying silent, then stay silent, that's fine. You could even watch a TV show together while being online or something. You don't have to force a conversation. Once you get forced, it starts getting fake. Once it gets fake, your emotional connection starts to wither. So if the call isn't going well, you can end it. If somebody doesn't want to speak, they don't have to. Silences must be okay. And when you do speak, avoid small talk and the drive to be superficial, and only say something if you've got something meaningful to say. Number 4, avoid written communication unless it's absolutely necessary. Texting and all that kind of stuff should only be to organized calls. Okay? I think in this day and age, people really overdo written communication, and it's horrific for connections. 90% of your communication is lost when you write it. You don't hear it, you don't see it, you don't feel it. And it's so easy, especially when you're already emotionally strained from being apart, to misinterpret and get into arguments and kind of willfully misunderstand each other and start shit. So written communication should only be logistical. When are we going to talk? Or here's that thing I'm going to send you. Some exceptions to this is you can send each other videos. If you just can't find a time to meet, record yourself. Pretty much any Wi-Fi can handle you doing this. All the apps that you need to do it are free. Record a nice little video for them, just telling them about your day. Send that to them. They can send you a video response. So much better than writing things, especially text style with emojis and all that shit, right? You can send little pictures to each other. You can show each other the day that you're having, little videos as you walk. Share as much as you possibly can. Okay, and reciprocate, because you'd usually spend a lot of time together. Now you're going to have to make up for that with other means. Number 5, don't pine for each other. So go and live a rich and meaningful life. Go do the active thing that you would usually do. Don't give up your hobbies and your goals just because you need to fit in that call late at night. Make sure you both have a real life around this thing. Okay, make sure you got new things to talk about. If you're going to have to force a conversation, it's going to be a lot harder if you've got nothing new to say because you've just been sitting waiting for that call since the last call. Have a real life that you can share with each other, and that'll also help with that missing feeling. Okay. Number 6. This is a kind of counterintuitive one. Remove pressure and obligation to stay in the relationship. It's really important. My girlfriend and I, we came to an agreement that neither of us have to continue this because we weren't certain if we were going to see each other in real life. We spent 3 or 4 months apart, other sides of the world, and we couldn't be sure that we were actually going to end up back together. So whenever we spoke, we had this kind of rule, which is, do we want to see each other again? And if the answer is yes, then we book another call. And we never really looked too much further past that. Because if you try to say, like, we must be together forever, it puts a lot of pressure on what is already a high pressure and difficult situation. So constantly discuss, are you both still okay with this the way it is? Can you both still handle it for another day? And, allow yourself that freedom to not be stuck with this thing. If that pressure's off, you'll actually feel a lot more relaxed about continuing it. If you feel like you must make it work, it's going to ruin everything. Number 7, this is a big one. Keep focusing on letting go of control. There are so many elements you can't control when the relationship goes long distance. Okay, especially when time zone shifts. Sometimes you just won't be able to get hold of them. Sometimes you won't know what they're doing. And particularly in my case, other people might try to intervene with this. There'll be people telling both them, both your partner and you, that you shouldn't be bothering with this, you shouldn't do it. There's going to be people trying to fuck with this thing. And you'll be able to set boundaries, and you should, with the people on your side, but you won't be able to control the people on their side. And you're just going to have to keep focusing on letting go of control. Keep telling yourself, look, they don't have to be with me. And if they want to be with me, it will work out. If they don't, then I'm not missing anything. I'll move on with my life. Just kind of just keep letting go of them so that you don't cling, become needy, which is actually going to drive them away. Number 8, always have a set date for when you're next going to see each other in person. Okay, have something to look forward to. It was something that we didn't do for quite some time, and it was devastating for me. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm in a relationship. Because if we're not going to see each other ever again, I don't want to keep doing this. But it was always this maybe. If I was to do it again, I'd say, look, let's set this date. And we don't have to follow through on it. If it comes to the date and neither of us or one of us doesn't want to be there, so be it. But let's just have that date in mind, something to look forward to. So you've got the set date, but no obligation to follow through. Okay. Number 9, focus on your mission. This was particularly relevant to me. I had all this unused energy that I couldn't put into the relationship, especially sexual frustration. I love touch and affection. All that was gone. I had all this kind of pent-up energy. So I turned it into my business. I threw it into my coaching. I threw it into my content creation. I used up that energy as much as I could. Avoid the temptation for binge eating and porn and other crutches. It's going to be so much healthier that you remind yourself that even though this relationship is largely out of your control, there's still a lot of things that are under your control, and you should focus your energy on that. And last but not least, a surprising one for me, prepare for getting back together in real life to be weird. When I finally got to see her in person, I was so excited. We had 2 times of being in long distance. And I remember the second time I went to pick her up at the airport, I was so excited. And then she arrived, I'm like, oh, this feels fucking awkward, I'm nervous. And I just didn't see that coming. I didn't think I'd feel nervous and weird about seeing her again. I thought I'd just be excited and happy. And I could feel that she was nervous and weird. It was too hyped up, it was too high pressure. But we talked it through, and you've got to talk about it. Whatever weirdness you feel, either during long distance or when you get back together, be open and honest about it. Don't overlook it, don't hide it. Get it all out, talk it, purge that kind of poison out, and then you'll eventually get back into your groove. So those are my top 10 tips. There's probably plenty of others I could come up with. This was just off the top of my head. Long distance relationships are hard. Try and follow these tips if you want to get through them. Get in touch with me if you've got any further questions or want some support. Dan@brojo.co.nz. I'll see you all next time. Cheers.